Hi Aries, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I absolutely love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. If you haven't got your seat for the winter solstice alignment activation session yet, I advise you to get it. They are going and we are getting closer to the date and also closer to that big conjunction that will be happening in January, right? So set your year off as you mean to go on, so to speak. With that said, I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So when I went into my intuition, what I could actually see was a person in a cage and they were shaking the bars going, oh my gosh, I want to get out, please let me out. But what I actually could see was when I was looking at the lock on the cage, the key was already in the door, right? So sometimes we're in a situation or we're in a position and we think to ourselves, shit, you know, how am I going to get out of this? How am I going to move past this? What can I do to get out of it? And we get so frantic in our minds. I'll give you a better example actually in a second. We get so frantic in our minds that we fail to see that we already have the answer right in front of us. That the moment of our salvation lies in our own hands. That we are already kind of free, but we're so convinced, we're so concentrated on the fact that we're in a cage that we forget to see that the key's even in the door, right? A perfect example, if you ever had your phone in your hand, you've had so many things in your hand, you've got your phone there as well, and you start touching your pockets as you do, and you're like, oh my gosh, where's my phone? I've lost it. Ah! You start freaking out, and then you look down, and yet, lo and behold, your phone is one of the things that are in your hand, right? That is it. Sometimes you're so blinded and panicked that you fail to see, that your brain doesn't recognize or respond to the fact that what you need is already in front of you. So this week, turn the key, right? If you find or you feel like you're stuck in some way, shape or form, look at the door, look at the key, look at the door, right? Because the chances are it's already in the door, right? So keep that in mind. Your destiny card for the week ahead is the Magician. You have the power to save yourself. You do not need a rescuer. In fact, and this isn't to say that you should become the rescuer this week, right? This week you are the damsel, or the, what's the opposite to a damsel? I don't know. The damsel or the dude, right? This week you are the damsel or the dude in distress. But the beauty of this is you have everything that you need at your disposal in order to save yourself. The thing about the Magician card, you see there on the card, right? He's got the Athame, the sword, which represents air. He's got the pentacle, which is earth, the fire, which is the wand, and he's also got the chalice or the cup, right, which is water. He's got everything that he needs already in order to do, to command, to create whatever it is that he wants. Now, the Magician card does represent the planet Mercury, right? Mercury is currently retrograde at the moment in your fellow sign, and I say fellow sign, I say fellow sign because Scorpio used to be, in the ancient astrology, ruled by Mars. This is, believe it or not, even though it's a different element, it's water, this is an energy that you can be comfortable with. The key is in the door, right? Just because it's just because it's water and you're used to fire doesn't mean there are not moments, overlaps or similarities there. And if you look for them this week, you will find them, right? Use this season to your advantage. So let's have a look at the direction, right? How does this shape up? What might it relate to or pertain to? Let's give it some context. This week you get the Eight of Wands, right? So this is all about communication because you've got the Magician card there, Mercury, right? The Eight of Wands, communication at a distance. This week, pay attention to what you're being told when it comes to emails, when it comes to text messages, especially if it's somebody that you're communicating with over a distance, you know, when it's somebody that's far away. Check in with them if you can. And when I say check in with them, what I mean is make sure that what they're actually saying is what they mean, and make sure that what you're hearing is actually what they say, what they're saying, right? It's a really important one. It is a Mercury retrograde, which tends to bring those miscommunication moments. But this week, when it comes to your path, so what you're putting out there, what you are sharing with the world, make sure that it has the elements that you want it to, and be sure that it is actually saying what your truest message is. If you read something back and you think, actually, there's nothing in there that sounds remotely like what I'm trying to get across to people, don't be afraid to edit it ruthlessly if need be, right? Because the best thing that you're going to get from that, if you can go back to the drawing board, I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, if it's like your thesis for your degree, don't just delete the whole lot and be like, oh yeah, well, I'll start again, I've only got 2 weeks to go to hand-in date. No, don't do that. What I'm saying is, obviously, be conscious, be smart about it, but look at things to make sure that the true message of what it is that you want to share with the world, with somebody else, you know, with your friends, with your people, make sure that the message actually resonates with what it is that you are actually trying to say. Your insight card for the week ahead, you've got the Ace of Cups, right? This is beautiful. It's like that healing energy salve that kind of puts the balm on. The new beginning that you're hoping for, the fresh start, it's all here. It's all ready to be delivered to you, Aries. You just need to be awake and alert enough to realize that you already have done the work, that you've already got everything you need at your disposal in order to make this happen. The Ace of Cups is always a wish fulfilled, right? So yes, this might be a bit of an intense week, but once it comes to an end, and literally, I mean, the 17th this week ends on the Sunday. Within 3 days after that, Mercury will be direct. Right? But don't waste this time. Like I said, it might be a Mercury retrograde, but it's happening in a sign that, believe it or not, you share a ruler with. Ask yourself, why does Mars rule Scorpio and Aries? What are the similarities there? What is it that where is the overlap? Right? Why is it that we both have this same ruler? Ask yourself that question this week, because the insight that you gain from it could be very, very powerful. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up for you. Take care. I'll see you soon.